In this lesson, we're going to be learning about viruses. So the big questions that we want to keep in mind as we work through this information about viruses is, how are viruses like an organism? We also want to think about what the structure of a virus is and how they're able to multiply. And lastly, we're going to talk about how you can treat a viral disease. So our vocabulary for this lesson is virus, host, parasite, bacteriophage, and vaccine. So, what the heck is a virus? Imagine, it's a dark and quiet night. An enemy spy slips silently across the border. Invisible to the guards, the spy creeps cautiously along the edge of the road. He's heading toward the command center. And undetected, the spy sneaks by the center's security system and reaches the door. Breaking into the control room, the spy takes command of the central computer. The enemy is in control. So although a spy story may read like a movie script, it describes events similar to those that can occur in your body. The spy acts very much like a virus invading an organism. A virus is a tiny, non-living particle that invades and then multiplies inside a living cell. Viruses are not cells, though. They don't have the characteristics of organisms. The only way that viruses are like an organism is the fact that they can multiply. And although viruses can multiply, they multiply differently than the way that organisms do. Viruses can only multiply when they're inside of a living cell. And there's no organism that's safe from viruses. The organism that a virus multiplies inside of is called a host. A host is a living thing that provides a source of energy for the virus and the organism as well. So viruses act like parasites, which are organisms that live on or in another host and cause it harm. Almost all viruses destroy their host cells. So viruses are smaller than cells, obviously, because they live inside of them, and they vary in size and shape. Some viruses are round, while others might be shaped like rods or bricks or threads or even like bullets. There are even some viruses that have complex robot-like shapes, such as the bacteriophage. Yes, I said bacteriophage. That's how you say this word. It's one of your vocab words. Basically, it's a virus that infects bacteria. In fact, the name actually means bacteria eater. Although viruses may look different from one another, they all have a similar structure. They have two basic parts, a protein coat, which protects the virus, and an inner core that's made out of genetic material. A virus's genetic material contains the instructions for making new viruses. Some viruses are also surrounded by an additional outer membrane or envelope. The proteins on the surface of a virus play an important role during the invasion of a host cell. Each virus contains unique surface proteins. The shape of the surface protein allows the virus to attach to certain cells in the host, kind of like a key. And like keys, a virus's proteins fit only into certain locks or other proteins on the surface of the host's cell. Because of the lock and key action of a virus is specific, a certain virus can attach only to one or maybe a few types of cells. For example, most cold viruses infect cells only in the nose and throat of humans. These cells are the ones with proteins on their surface that complement or fit those on the virus.